Hello everyone, this is Campus Radio Say What You Wanna Say, and welcome to the first episode of Around the World in 80 Hours Season 4. My name is Richie and I will be your host for today. So basically my boss told me that we are going to have our interview in studio today, which I'm very happy about it because we didn't get the opportunity to interview our interviewee live in person in studio since the pandemic happened in 2020. So I'm very happy to be here today to interview Xavier. So thank you Xavier for coming down today. So in the previous season, we have interviewed Project Midori and we have been through the exciting journey with them. So I'm wondering what they have in store for us today. So Xavier, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, I'm Xavier, one of the project leaders for Project Midori 5, and I'm a Year 2 student in the School of Social Sciences majoring in psychology.
Thank you, Xavier. For our convenience of our listeners who might not have watched the previous season of podcast that is related to Project Midori, can you please tell us a bit more what is Project Midori?
So Project Midori is actually a community service project that was started by a few SCI students 4 years back with the central goal of reducing food waste in the SMU community. So not only the students but also the staff. So we're doing this at the same time trying to teach the project team about food wastage. So not only trying to carry out activities to get the community to reduce food wastage, but also to learn about the deeper nuances of food wastage in Singapore and why it's so hard to relieve this problem.
So food wastage is quite a serious issue here in Singapore, I believe. Yeah. So since this is a problem in Singapore, what are some of the social impact of food wastage and not having a very good food security?
So food security is a trickier one because not a lot of people understand the concept behind food security. So food security basically means to have like a stable access to food, right, for everyone in our country. When you think about how there are so many people in need without food security, right, that becomes a very serious problem because there are elderlies, there are some families that can't afford food. So that's the social impact. And Project Midori 5 actually found out because we are such an Asian culture, right, preparing more food at the dinner table is a form of prosperity. So that's why they prepare more food, but then they don't realize that they can't finish all this rice, and that's where all the food waste accumulates.
Yeah, I do agree with that. Sometimes my mom do cook a bit more, and I believe your parents do, right? I think we should change our mindset a bit, right, in terms of that. So thank you for sharing with us, Xavier. So you seem quite passionate about contributing towards reducing the problem of food wastage. So may I know what motivates you personally to join Project Midori?
To begin with, I didn't have like a very noble reason to join Project Midori 5. It's not like I was super passionate about food wastage, but I was starting to learn about the topic. As I had more meetings and I created the events and I researched more, I realized how serious food wastage was in Singapore. And then now I'm trying to reduce my personal food waste as well as an individual.
So when it comes to food wastage, I believe it will start from ourselves, right? So how can we as individuals contribute to reduce food wastage?
It's actually quite simple because when you go out to buy groceries, right, it's good to make a shopping list so you don't overbuy. And one simple thing that people might not be comfortable with, for example, ingredients such as milk. Let's say you know you're gonna use it over the next 3 days, right? Don't dig to the back of the shelf to get an expiry 2 weeks away. Because for all the items that are expired, they'll just throw it away. So if you're able to finish in the next 3 days, just get the milk that's gonna expire in 3 days. So you can contribute in that way. And then, like I mentioned before, Asian families tend to have a lot of leftovers and then they just throw it away, right? Because they don't want to reuse the food. But for ingredients such as eggs, rice, you can actually keep them in your fridge and then recycle them into a new dish afterwards. So that's a very simple way of reducing food wastage in your own households.
I think I will learn from Xavier more about this and implement it in my house also. So with that, how can we as individuals contribute to strengthen the food security?
For us in the studio, we are quite fortunate to probably be very food secure. But there are many families in Singapore that are not food secure, right? So one easy way is to donate to food banks in Singapore. So they have donation drives throughout the year. They try to take all the ingredients that you donate and then make dishes and meals for these low-privileged families.
So I think with that, right, there's also one thing that usually when we see in the supermarket, there are these trolleys, right, where we can donate the food also, right?
Yeah.
So that things like noodles and stuff. Wow, that's good.
Yeah.
So we should continue do that. So moving on, I have a tip for you, and it's called the Richie's tip. So next time when you go to a restaurant or a food court, you have ordered too much food, maybe you should try to finish it first and then if you really can't finish it, then maybe you want to tap out the food, which also means repackage or bring it home, take away the food home and share it with your family members in order to protect the food security and also to prevent food wastage in Singapore. Am I right? That's a good tip, right?
Yeah, that's a good tip.
So with that tips, I hope that you have learned from it. And my next question is that for individuals, right, how can they support your meaningful vision?
So in SMU, I think a lot of food vendors, they are very willing to give us extra food when we order because we are young adults. And then the food vendors might think that we remind them of their children. This is one simple way of reducing food waste as well. For example, if you order chicken rice, a lot of people don't eat the cucumber. Just ask for less rice if you don't need that much rice. Ask for the cucumbers to be removed. Because once you put it in your dish, right, it cannot be reused already if you just throw it into the trash, right? And another simple way, if you are unable to finish the food, make sure to segregate the food waste instead of just throwing everything into the same bin. Because when you put food waste that can be composted into a food waste bin, all this can be reused into a separate form of energy rather than being just thrown away to the trash.
Okay, that's good. Or I think I got another way, which my parents, or not my parents, my friends usually will do, right? So if they don't really eat cucumber, they will give it to someone else, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's another way to save. For the cucumber lovers, yes. With that, right, how does Midori create awareness within the SMU community?
Project Midori 5, unfortunately, we started during the COVID period. We did a lot of social media campaigns with our Instagram and Telegram channel. We envisioned more physical activities for the SMU community to have hands-on on how to reduce food waste, for them to understand how easy it is actually to reduce food wastage.
So with that, you guys have some activities, right? Yeah. During that particular period. So one of the activities that I read about was the Master Chef Challenge. So for this Master Chef Challenge, is it the students will use some food to cook, and then they will compete together, then the best food will win? So can you tell us a bit more about this particular challenge?
That was actually my favorite activity that was planned in Project Midori 5. We actually did a pre-event survey with the SME community to find out what is the most commonly wasted ingredient to them. I think the answer came out to chicken breast and rice. Just Tapao, as one of our sponsors, they collaborated by also throwing in another ingredient. So they also chose chicken breast as one of the ingredients to be incorporated into the dish. So the entire concept of the game is to utilize these two ingredients to get extra points. Because since these ingredients are so commonly wasted, we wanted to create some recipes for people to understand how to recreate them into new dishes. When we threw out these two ingredients like rice and chicken breast, we got the students to get creative and then create their own recipes. We had judges from Just Tapao and Project Midori, and then we judged how creative and how simple it is to recreate the dishes, and then that's how we picked our 3 winners from the MasterChef competition.
Wow, interesting. So is there any chance, can you share with us about what is the dish that they came up with, the winning dish?
I think there was this chicken baked rice, which was very, very simple to make because it was just leftover rice, shredded chicken breast and some cheese. So when you put cheese, tomatoes and rice, right, and then you just put it into the oven, it's very simple to create a brand new dish and very simple to make within 5 minutes.
For this particular activity, it was carried out online, I suppose.
Yes.
Right? So are there some challenges that you guys face while coming up with these activities?
Yeah, there were actually so much more elements that we wanted to incorporate. I think the true impact of the challenge could have been better, but we were very heartened by how many people in the SME community participated in the challenge.
So with that, do you have like the recipe for this particular dish?
Oh, we are actually going to post some videos on our Instagram page as to how to recreate these dishes. So we picked 3 winning recipes. I think chicken baked rice, something that has tacos involved. I can't remember the exact dish name. So we're gonna post the video, and then there's exact steps on how to recreate the dish. We actually had people from our Midori team recreate the dishes, and we put it in a video format, so it's easier for the SME community to follow.
Interesting, that's very good, and we can save some more food, right? With that. So Xavier, just now you shared about this Master Chef Challenge, and we have another challenge, right? I heard it's called the Clean Plate Challenge. So can you share with us about this Clean Plate Challenge?
Yeah, so it's actually a very simple activity where our participants will take a before and after shot of their food. So the before shot is like full with nice food ingredients, right? So the after shot would likely be an empty plate, so therefore the Clean Plate Challenge. Or if they can't finish their food, we want them to segregate anything that can be recycled, composted, and those that cannot. So for example, if you have a tissue on your plate, all this, you separate it from your food waste. So you can segregate them and then reuse them into new energy. It took place across 2 weeks, and then the participant that can rack up the most points and most clean plates walks away with a prize. So I think Project Midori 6 will carry this activity out in a much larger scale, so you can look forward to that.
Wow, sounds good. I think I will join because every time my plate also very clean yeah, after eating the meals. So I heard that you are going to share with us some of your upcoming projects, right?
Project Midori 6 is actually going to partner with OCIS, and it's going to upscale a lot. So in our current team, we actually only have 14 members, but Project 6 is looking forward to recruit much more members because we are going to implement much more school-wide policies to help reduce food wastage in a much simpler fashion.
So you are going to call the whole SMU community in a sense this time?
Yes.
Okay, so I think everybody please stop wasting your food, right? If not, next time maybe we might have some penalty, or like you don't waste your food, you will get some benefits, right? I agree with that. So is there anything else you want to share with our viewers?
Members recruitment should be rolling out soon, so please do join if you have a passion for reducing food wastage, especially in the SMU community. And if you're unable to join or you missed the recruitment, please do take part in the Project Midori 6 activities as well. It's very simple. It's mostly going to be online, some physical events. So when you see the link for this event, please do join if you are free.
With that, would you like to share with us about your social media platforms?
Please follow us at Instagram at SMU_Midori. And then you can search up SMU Food Champs bot on Telegram. That's the food redistribution bot. So with buffets coming back in SMU, we will redistribute all this like leftover buffet food for free for students and staff to take. So you can head down there before the food expires and then get a free meal.
Sounds good. I will participate in that, definitely. So just a shout out once again, SMU_Midori for their social media platform. Thank you, Xavier, for coming down for the interview today. So with that, we have come to the end of the first episode of Around the World in 80 Hours Season 4 in studio. And once again, I'm Richie, your host. So thank you for listening in to SMUBE Campus Radio. Say what you wanna say. Bye! If you like what you have just watched and you want to bring it along with you in train, you can take a look at our description box to find our SMUBE Spotify account. Thank you!